guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all well. I don't know about you guys, but my main hair goal for 2019 is to retain some length, as always. So I'm going to share some of my top tips for healthier hair so we can all retain some inches in 2019. So keep watching if you are interested in that. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. It really helps me to get an idea of what you guys want to see, what you like, what to film in the future, so make sure you go ahead and do that. So yeah, let's get into these tips. So my first tip is to keep your hair moisturized. Now when I say moisturized, I mean with an actual moisturizer, not an oil sheen spray. If you've seen my hair story video, you'll know that that is all I was using back in the day. So you want to use a moisturizer where the first ingredient is water. And once you've moisturized, you want to lock in that moisture even more by covering the area with an oil. So that is referred to as sealing. So moisturize and seal. My second tip is to cover your hair at night. So the last thing you'll want to do is moisturize and seal your hair and then just go and lay your head on a cotton pillowcase. All that's going to do is suck out the moisture and you're back at square one. So what you want to do is cover your hair with a silk or satin headscarf, a bonnet, or if you're, a bit lazy or can't be trusted to cover your hair every night, then the best thing to do is invest in a silk pillowcase, so you don't need to worry about that. So that's just going to make sure your hair doesn't dry out on your classic cotton pillowcase, and all the moisture that you've put in is just going to stay locked in until the morning. I actually had to ask on Instagram if this was a real thing, but I remember back in the day I used to cover my hair with tights, and thinking about that now, oh my god, that probably just snatched all the moisture. So yeah, don't cover your hair with tights. There were a few other weird things that people said they covered their hair with. No judgment, but let's switch that up for some satin or some silk. Okay, so my next tip is to cleanse your hair. Now recently I've been seeing that people don't wash their hair for 6 months, and I do not understand how they can do that. But okay, if that works for you, that's fine. Now for me, because I go to the gym a lot, I like to cleanse my hair once a week just to get rid of any sweat and build up and all that jazz. Obviously you do what works for you, but I would definitely suggest cleansing your hair regularly just to clear your scalp of any product buildup, any dirt, anything blocking your scalp and preventing growth. You also want to make sure you're doing this with a sulfate-free shampoo that doesn't dry out your hair. My next tip is deep condition. This is a very important one. Now, when I think back to the days where I just applied my conditioner and then washed it out the next minute, I'm literally horrified. So what you want to do is apply a deep conditioner. There's loads of deep conditioning products on the market now, or if you can't find a deep conditioner, then you can just add oils to your favorite conditioner. Cover it with a plastic cap. Apply heat in the form of a steamer or hothead, or back in the day I just used a woolly hat. Now if I'm not in a rush, I can deep condition for hours. I just leave it on, do my housework, take a nap, do what I need to do. But if it's like a quick wash day, then I'll leave it on for 45 minutes and then rinse it out. Make sure you do your research and use a conditioner based on your hair's needs that week. So if you need moisturizing, make sure you use a moisturizing conditioner. If your hair needs more protein, then use a protein-based conditioner. Now tip number 5 is to reduce the amount of direct heat on your hair. So direct heat applies to straightening, tonging, if you're taking it old school, then the hot comb, anything where the heat is applied directly to your hair, blow drying as well. So direct heat can really dry out your hair, which can cause it to break in the long term. So air dry where you can on wash days. I have a video on my air drying technique, so try that. If you want to rock curly styles, then try techniques like braid outs, twist outs, and bantu knots for that curly look. So that leads me on to my next tip, which is low manipulation styling. Try and rock styles that don't need restyling every single day. So if you can style it every few days in between your wash days, then that is great. Over manipulating your hair can lead to excess shedding and breakage, and all the tools in your hair every day. Your hair just needs to have a break so you can retain that length. Again, you can get very creative with your braid outs, your twist outs and everything. I do have my video on styling braid outs, so it's not just like you have a braid out and that's it. You can do lots with it. The next tip is to baby your hair. Think of your hair as a delicate newborn. You just want to give her some TLC and treat her with care. Finger combing and finger detangling is great when you can. When you are using combs, just make sure you start from the ends and work your way up when you're detangling. Don't force the comb through, and also make sure you're using a wide tooth comb like this as opposed to a comb like this. Like, imagine trying to rake your whole hair through this. That's not gonna work. So start from your ends, work your way up without forcing the comb through, which is especially important when you're stretching your relaxers. Obviously your hair is really weak at the line of demarcation, so you want to be really careful detangling your straight hair and your new growth. Okay, so another tip which I often have to remind myself about is to check the ingredients in your products, especially your favorite products. Nothing like using, let's say, a moisturizing conditioner that you love, only to look at the ingredients and find it's like full of proteins. So yeah, it's really important to check the ingredients. Also, ingredients that I personally would avoid, things like parabens, sulfates, mineral oil, petroleum, petrolatum. They're known to just sit on your scalp and block the moisture from coming in. So there's absolutely no point in using all your nice ingredients, your good quality ingredients, if you're using something that is just blocking everything from getting in. So have a look at those. Obviously, if a product works well for you and you swear by it, then who am I to tell you not to use it? But personally, I don't use any products with those ingredients in it. Okay, so my next tip is actually a very important one, and one I should have been screaming at myself a couple of years ago. Always choose health over length. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but trim your ends, sis. Trim those ends. Honestly, if you're holding on to split ends, thin ends, you're only causing yourself damage in the long run. Get rid of them, trim them. If you can't find a salon or a stylist to do it for you, then, I mean, you can do a DIY job if you trust yourself. Especially with split ends, all they do is travel higher and higher up your hair shaft. So I had that a few years ago, I think it's in my hair story video, where I was loving my length. Like, I knew my ends were really thin. I also didn't have a stylist at the time or a salon that I went to, so I was just holding on to that length and eventually had to have quite a big cut. So yeah, basically holding on to those straggly ends are only going to cause you problems in the long run, so get rid. So my last tip is to lead a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, so, you know, eating healthily, eating your greens, working out, drinking water. Your hair is literally going to thank you. Yeah, get that heart pumping, get that blood circulating, do what you need to do. If I'm being particularly unhealthy, my hair is always dry. That is the first thing that happens, and I don't retain any length. So for me, I work out at least 3 times a week. 4 is like a bonus, and anytime I'm like trying to get snatched or something, maybe 5, but that to me is just not sustainable. So if I'm doing that and drinking my water, I'm actually not that great with water. I can only manage like 1.5 liters a day, and that's if I'm being really good. Eating healthily, I find fairly easy. A great way to get all your nutrients is smoothies. Like, I have loads of recipes for like hair growth smoothies that have all the ingredients you need for your hair to thrive. If you guys want me to share those with you, then let me know. But yeah, basically eating healthily, keeping your body hydrated, and working out. Not even just for your hair, but for you to feel good anyway. But also, added bonus is that your hair is gonna look good and be growing and flowing, girl. I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys with all those tips, but I feel like when I actually implemented these things, that's when I actually saw changes in my hair. If that is like a lot for you to just turn around straight away, that's fair enough. Just implement 1 or 2 things, and then when you've got that under wraps, add a couple more and see how you get on. So if you're starting your hair journey, let me know in the comments what are, let's say, 2 tips that you're going to start implementing into your hair regime. If you have a secret tip that you swear by, then leave that in the comments, because we all need the help. We're all coming for those inches this year. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and those tips were helpful for you. If you liked the video, again, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do, because I've got lots of videos coming for you this year. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.